Today we're going to begin making box design 1, which will look like this when you are done with it. So here is my blank paper. I'm going to use this as my reference, or I can use this. You also have it on the Google site to look at. Okay, so where you want to start, this box has to be centered. So you want to start, this is coming down 3/16 and this is going up 3/16 from the border. So you want to either start at one of these points or you want to start at one of these points so that you know that your image will wind up being centered, okay? So if I wanted to start with these vertical lines, I could come over 1 3/4 from the border of my paper. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a vertical line on my paper. I'm going to draw it light because I don't know exactly how long it's going to be. I'm just putting a guideline there. So I'm measuring 1 3/4, and I'm putting a little line, a little tiny dash, and then I'm gonna make that a vertical line, okay? And that's going to be this vertical line, but like I said, I'm just guessing right now, so I'm making somewhat of a guideline. Okay, so once I have that guideline, I'm going to measure over 1 1/4, and I'm going to draw this guideline. Okay, so this is 1 inch and this is 1/4. And I'm drawing this vertical line also. Just drawing a guideline. Then I am measuring 2 1/2 inches over, and I'm drawing another vertical line. 1, 2 1/2. Vertical. Okay, nice and light because I'm going to do some erasing. Okay, so I have this vertical, this vertical, this vertical, the guidelines. Now measuring over 1 1/4 inches again. 1 1/4 inches. Okay, I definitely know that that's too long because it doesn't come down this far. But again, that is a guideline, and I will wind up erasing some of this. So do not draw your lines too dark. Now I'm going over 2 1/2 inches again. There's my measurement, 2 1/2. All right, so I'm starting at the 3. You don't always have to start at 0 if you don't want, okay? So if you're more comfortable starting at a different number, if maybe I want to start at the 4. So 2 1/2 from the 4 is going to be 1 inch, 2 1/2, right at the 6 1/2. So 4 to 6 1/2 is 2 1/2 inches. If that confuses you, start at the 0 and just mark off the 2 1/2 inches. Okay, so that's my 2 1/2 inches. I'm going to draw my vertical. And now I'm drawing this spot here, which is a 1/2 inch over, and another vertical line. I'm just checking. This is 1 1/4. This is 2 1/2. This is 1 1/4. This is 2 1/2, and this is 1/2. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here because this is the part that's coming closest to the border. Okay. So on my drawing, it's this area here. Okay. This 2 1/2 inch spot. So I'm going to measure up 3/16 and I'm going to draw a horizontal. 3/16 is 3 tiny dashes on your ruler. Okay, so if you were starting at the 1, it would be 1, 2, 3 right there, just before you hit the 1/4. That's a 1/4. It's 1 underneath the 1/4. Okay, and if you're using that blue ruler, 1, 2, 3, you're probably gonna have to start at the 1 because for some reason that blue ruler skips the first inch, the first ½ inch. Okay, so now I'm drawing my horizontal line. Now I'm measuring up 1/4 of an inch. This tab is 1/4 of an inch, so I'm measuring up 1/4 of an inch and I'm drawing another horizontal line. Make sure your T-square is nice and straight. Okay, so I know this guideline has to come down further because it's not attached. Okay, so mine was too short. I'm bringing it down. So that it closes that off. We're going to skip the tab for now. Now I'm measuring up 1 1/4 and I'm drawing another horizontal line. So measure up 1 1/4 inches and draw another horizontal. All right, now I know that where this line is, this whole long line is going to be. Okay, so I'm going to actually draw that whole long line. Okay, so I know that this is going to get erased. This is going to get erased. And now I'm going to take this measurement here, the 4 1/2, and I'm going to measure up so that I could get this long horizontal line in place. 4 1/2 inches. Four and a half. Okay, do you see it coming together? All right, this could get erased. This is going to be the tab over here, so maybe I'll get that taken care of. So I'm going to do basically this, but flipped. So now I'm measuring down 3/16 and I'm drawing a horizontal line. So again, 3/16, that's just 3 tiny dashes, 1, 2, 3, and a horizontal line. This tab is the same exact tab, so I'm measuring 1/4 of an inch again. 1/4 of an inch is 4 dashes, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm drawing another horizontal line for my tab. Okay, so now, all right, so this is the part now. Let me put the tabs in. Okay, so these are all 1 inch. Okay, they're 1 inch in height. So I'm going to just draw those horizontal lines, horizontal, horizontal, and then I'm going to make sure that they're 5/8, and then I'm just going to connect this to this, this to this. That is how you're going to do it if you do not have a T-square. Okay, so let me just measure that they're all 1 inch. That's the easy part. Okay, so here's 1 inch. 3 to 2 is 1 full inch. Over here, 6 to 7 is 1 full inch. If that's confusing you, then start at the 0. Shouldn't confuse anybody. If you're going from a whole number to another whole number, you're getting 1 inch. 8 to 9 is 1 inch. Try to make sure you're exact. Ugh, my T-square shifted. Let me do that over. You will outline this in pen and put the dimensions on it at the end. So once you outline in pen, it'll be easier to erase some of those pencil marks. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and do the ones on the bottom. And again, you want to press light because part of it is going to get erased. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. If I'm using a triangle, easy. This is your 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is your 90 degrees. Everybody knows that a right angle is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. This is 30 degrees because it's the skinniest, and that's 60 degrees. It's the middle angle. It's the angle that's the medium size, okay? So this is my 30. If I want to use the triangle, I'm going to set my T-square up on the edge of my paper, and then I'm going to take my triangle. I'm going to place it here. And I'm going to take this to this, and I'm going to draw that angle. That is my 30 degrees, okay? So you would do that. So for this one, okay, this one I have my 30-degree angle on this side. You would just flip your triangle so that it is like this, and then you draw the angle. I'm going to show you on the bottom how to do it without a triangle. Erase, okay, erase. Okay, so now down here, if you do not have a a triangle, you're going to measure, right here it says 5/8. That is the same measurement for all 4 of your tabs. So you're going to measure 5/8. Okay, so I know a 1/2 inch is 4/8. And I know 1/8 is 2 dashes. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch and I'm going to add 2 more dashes to it. If I didn't know that, then I'm just going to count by eighths. Here's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. Okay? That is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it, if I really, really don't know how to use a ruler, then I know that 5/8 is 10 dashes. So I would just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put my mark, that is 5/8, okay? Then you're going to take this dot and this corner, you're going to match them up and draw your line. Okay, you will have, using the triangle will be more precise, but this is fine if you're doing it this way. Okay, so I'm going from the 4 to the 3, I'm finding the 1/2 inch and I'm adding an extra 1/8 to it. Or I'm counting 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. Okay, so now I'm taking that dot, that little measurement, and I am connecting them. Erase. Erase. Okay, 3 tabs left. Let's see. So now I'm going to do this tab, then this tab, then this tab. So these 2 tabs are the same. Okay, so if you're doing the tabs without the triangle, the space starts out as 2.5 inches wide, and it winds up being 2 1/16 inches wide. So that has to be centered above that in order to get an accurate measurement. So what you're going to do, you're going to measure over, you're going to make this just a box, the tab. So you're going to extend this, extend this. Now what you're doing is you're going over 3.5 dashes. 1, 2, 3, and in between those, I know that's weird, but you have to go in between the 2. Now over here, you're going 1, 2, 3, and in between those, okay? So it's 3.5 dashes. Okay, and then you're taking this dot, bringing it to the corner. Take this dot, bring it to the corner, and then you're going to erase. For the last tab here, you're starting out with 4.5 inches and your tab winds up being 3.5 inches, okay? So the 3.5 inches has to be centered, okay? So you're gonna take a 1/2 inch off here and a 1/2 inch off here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take my T-square, okay? I'm gonna mark off 1/2 inch, put a dot. I'm gonna mark off 1/2 inch, put a dot. If you do not have a triangle, you're going to take your ruler and you're going to match this corner up with the dot, draw this corner with the dot, and draw that line, okay? If you have a triangle, you're going to take your 45-degree triangle and you're going to line it up like that, okay? That's slightly off. Okay, and then down here, let me flip that. Okay, and then you will erase and erase, okay? You have the whole drawing done, but I would like you to go back, okay? You're gonna outline this in pen, and then you're going to put all of the measurements on. Okay, you're drawing the lines with a ruler. You have to draw them with a ruler. Then you're going to put the arrows on each end along with the measurement.